Proverbs 19, the Passion Translation. Subheader: Wisdom Exalted. It's better to be honest, even if it leads to poverty, than to live as a dishonest fool. The best way to live is with revelation knowledge, for without it, you'll grow impatient and run right into error. There are some people who ruin their own lives and then blame it all on God. Being wealthy means having lots of friends, but the poor can't keep the ones they have. Perjury won't go unpunished, and liars will all get what they deserve. Everyone wants to be close to the rich and famous, but a generous person has all the friends he wants. When a man is poor, even his family has no use for him. How much more will his friends avoid him? For though he begs for help, they won't respond. Do yourself a favor and love wisdom. Learn all you can, then watch your life flourish and prosper. Tell lies, and you're going to get caught, and the habitual liar is doomed. It doesn't seem right when you see a fool living in the lap of luxury, or a prideful servant ruling over princes. An understanding person demonstrates patience, for mercy means holding your tongue when you are insulted. Be quick to forgive and forget it, for you are virtuous when you overlook an offense. The rage of a king is like the roar of a lion, but his sweet favor is like a gentle, refreshing rain. A rebellious son breaks a father's heart, and a nagging wife can drive you crazy. You can inherit houses and land from your parents, but a good wife only comes as a gracious gift from God. Go ahead, be lazy and passive, but you'll go hungry if you live that way. Honor God's holy instructions, and life will go well for you. But if you despise His ways and choose your own paths, you will die. Every time you give to the poor, you make a loan to the Lord. Don't worry, you'll be repaid in full for all the good you've done. Don't be afraid to discipline your children while they're still young enough to learn. Don't judge your children or be swayed by their protests. A hot-tempered man has to pay the price for his anger. If you bail him out once, you'll do it a dozen times. Listen well to wise counsel and be willing to learn from correction, so that by the end of your life, you'll be known for your wisdom. A person may have many ideas concerning God's plan for his life, but only the designs of God's purpose will succeed in the end. A man is charming when he displays tender mercies to others, and a lover of God who is poor and promises nothing is better than a rich liar who never keeps his promises. When you live a life of abandoned love, surrendered before the awe of God, here's what you'll experience: abundant life, continual protection, and complete satisfaction. There are some people who pretend they're hurt, deadbeats who won't even work to feed themselves. If you punish the insolent, who don't know any better, they will learn not to mock you. But if you correct a wise man, he will grow even wiser. Children who mistreat their parents are an embarrassment to their families and a public disgrace. So listen, my child, don't reject correction, or you will certainly wander from the ways of truth. A corrupt witness makes a mockery of justice, for the wicked never play by the rules. Judgment is waiting for those who mock the truth, and foolish living invites a beating. Proverbs 19, Amplified Translation. Subheader: On Life and Conduct. Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is twisted in his speech and is a short-sighted fool. Also, it is not good for a person to be without knowledge. And he who hurries with his feet, acting impulsively and proceeding without caution or analyzing the consequences, sins and misses the mark. The foolishness of man undermines his way, ruining whatever he undertakes. Then his heart is resentful and rages against the Lord. For, being a fool, he blames the Lord instead of himself. Wealth makes many friends, but a poor man is separated from his friend. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will not escape. Many will seek the favor of a generous and noble man, and everyone is a friend to him who gives gifts. All the brothers of a poor man hate him. How much more do his friends abandon him? He pursues them with words, but they are gone. He who gains wisdom and good sense loves and preserves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will find good and prosper. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will perish. Luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a slave to rule over princes. Good sense and discretion make a man slow to anger, and it is his honor and glory to overlook a transgression or an offense without seeking revenge and harboring resentment. The king's wrath terrifies like the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as refreshing and nourishing as dew on the grass. A foolish, ungodly son is destruction to his father, and the contentions of a quarrelsome wife are like a constant dripping of water. House and wealth are the inheritance from fathers, but a wise, understanding, and sensible wife is a gift and blessing from the Lord. Laziness casts one into a deep sleep, unmindful of lost opportunity, and the idle person will suffer hunger. He who keeps and obeys the commandment of the Lord keeps and guards his own life, but he who is careless of his ways and conduct will die. He who is gracious and lends a hand to the poor lends to the Lord, and the Lord will repay him for his good deed. Discipline and teach your son while there is hope, and do not indulge your anger or resentment by imposing inappropriate punishment, nor desire his destruction. A man of great anger will bear the penalty for his quick temper and lack of self-control. For if you rescue him and do not let him learn from the consequences of his action, you will only have to rescue him over and over again. Listen to counsel, receive instruction, and accept correction, that you may be wise in the time to come. Many plans are in a man's mind, but it is the Lord's purpose for him that will stand and be carried out. That which is desirable in a man is his loyalty and unfailing love, but it is better to be a poor man than a wealthy liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, so that one may sleep satisfied, untouched by evil. The lazy man buries his hand in the food dish, but will not even bring it to his mouth again. Strike a scoffer for refusing to learn, and the naive may be warned and become prudent. Reprimand one who is understanding and a teachable spirit, and he will gain knowledge and insight. He who assaults his father and chases away his mother is a son who brings shame and disgrace. Cease listening, my son, to instruction and discipline, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A wicked and worthless witness mocks justice, and the mouth of the wicked spreads iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scoffers, and beatings for the backs of thick-headed fools. Proverbs 19. New Living Translation. Better to be poor and honest than to be dishonest and a fool. Enthusiasm without knowledge is no good. Haste makes mistakes. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. Wealth makes many friends. Poverty drives them all away. A false witness will not go unpunished, nor will a liar escape. Many seek favors from a ruler. Everyone is the friend of a person who gives gifts. The relatives of the poor despise them. How much more will their friends avoid them? Though the poor plead with them, their friends are gone. To acquire wisdom is to love yourself. People who cherish understanding will prosper. A false witness will not go unpunished, and a liar will be destroyed. It isn't right for a fool to live in luxury, or for a slave to rule over princes. Sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrongs. The king's anger is like a lion's roar, but his favor is like the dew on the grass. A foolish child is a calamity to a father. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping. Fathers can give their sons an inheritance of houses and wealth, but only the Lord can give an understanding wife. Lazy people sleep soundly, but idleness leaves them hungry. Keep the commandments and keep your life. Despising them leads to death. If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you. Discipline your children while there is hope, otherwise you will ruin their lives. Hot-tempered people must pay the penalty. If you rescue them once, you will have to do it again. Get all the advice and instruction you can, so you will be wise the rest of your life. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Loyalty makes a person attractive. It is better to be poor than dishonest. Fear of the Lord leads to life, brings security and protection from harm. Lazy people take food in their hand, but don't even lift it to their mouth. If you punish a mocker, the simple-minded will learn a lesson. If you correct the wise, they will be all the wiser. Children who mistreat their father or chase away their mother are an embarrassment and a public disgrace. If you stop listening to instruction, my child, you will turn your back on knowledge. A corrupt witness makes a mockery of justice. The mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. Punishment is made for mockers, and the backs of fools are made to be beaten.